generally know where I need to get, you know, what I need to get out of you. And all
Alrighty
that.
then.
Yeah. This show I'm treating like that, like more of a hanging out with whoever I'm with and talking about what they got going on, and then we do some funner stuff after that, left field questions and stuff. And then because I'm bringing fully focused podcast back, where it's gonna be more of a structured, like 3 or 4 segment thing where we have these questions. This is what this happens. This
I
is where
still
the
think you
game is
should do
at.
friggin' skits. You're hilarious.
So that's him and I are working on turning this right here, essentially this. He has a couple of things going on as well, like the Red Mike cipher, stuff like that, into a whole network.
Isn't happy hour anytime?
We're gonna go to a bunch of different bars and drink.
Drunk now.
Kind of sounds like the behavior of a drunk man, really.
Let's have another round, it's on me. Let's have another round or 3. Eyes are swimming, knees are weak, I'm tipsy. Another shot and that makes 3 or 50. Slug it back, I've got the knack, this video is going viral. Go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home. Go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home. Go drunk, you're home. 1 Jack, 2, 3 tequila, 4. 1 more shot and we'll kiss
Then beer.
the floor.
2 shots Jaeger, tequila, 4 ball Hensman, beer, cheeseburger.
Go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home, go drunk, you're home.
Was it alcohol fuel? Probably.
What up, world? Check. What up, world? Your boy, the kid, a.k.a. the drunk DJ, Kid Bully Joe. I can't hear me. Can they hear me? Can you hear me?
Can they hear me?
Check.
Check.
Nothing? Maybe play a song real
Nope.
quick. Oh, there we go. What up, world? Your boy, the kid, a.k.a. the drunk DJ, K Bully Joe. Welcome to Happy Hour with the drunk DJ, where anything can happen, including the mic's not working.
Yeah, I didn't press a button.
It's all good. What up, Uzi? How you doing back there?
I'm alright.
My guy, Fly High Uzi, the producer. Make sure you hit him up to get your songs recorded, get your videos done, all of that. Shout out Undeniable Sound. That's where we're at right now. One of our sponsors as well. Appreciate you, Uzi. But today's all about V. Marie. Veana Marie, what is up?
What's going on? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I know that you're doing very well. You have a big weekend coming up.
I got a busy weekend coming up. Yes, yes.
Busy, big. Same thing. But you look at it as busy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand, like, a lot of people don't take artists seriously because they think that all we do is party and have fun.
Right.
And what I do takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of
100%.
energy. It takes a lot of practice and, planning. And I don't like to just throw things together. I just, I want to make sure that when I put out a product, it's a quality product.
Facts. And you got a quality product dropping this Saturday. Let's talk about that a little bit. So the first video and first single's already dropped. We're gonna play the tape. It's called Let's Roll.
Yes.
That video is fire. You got the Dexter vibe and all of that.
Hell yes.
Let's talk about what's the name of the project first. Let everybody know what to expect.
The name of the project is called It's Personal.
It's personal, yes. And how'd you come to that conclusion?
Well,
for a title.
There was a different title for the project, and it was brought to my attention that I probably shouldn't use that title.
Okay. We're not going to name that title then?
No.
All right. I figured by the way you said that.
It's just kind of embarrassing because I didn't know.
You have to whisper that in my ear later.
We'll talk about that off the record.
Right, yes.
So basically, I was in a studio session with my producer, Joey Benjamin.
Okay. Shout out, Joey.
I had come out of the studio and just recorded something, and he just said to me, he's like, yo, what's going on? He's like, this shit sounds hella fucking personal. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because it was.
Okay.
It really was. So I really decided to, take all the information that I've accumulated in the last 10 years. And, the growth from my very first project was basically an complete and total emotion dump.
Right.
You know what I mean? To a completed project 10 years later that's structured and organized and professionally recorded and, you know, something that I can be really proud of and, you know, I take very seriously.
Okay, word. And I mean, 10 years is a long time to work on a project. I could also relate to it.
Not this project.
Right, the last one.
No, I'm saying I've put out. Okay, so at the end of this year.
Okay, yep.
At the end of this year, I should have 10 projects out in the last 10 years.
Oh, damn. Okay, never mind.
I started my company in 2011.
All right. Is that Spaceman?
Spacebound Productions, Spaceman Music.
Spaceman Music, got you.
And that's how all of this started. Okay. So when I put out that first product, I never wanted to be an artist. I just was trying to make music. I was actually putting out other artists.
Okay. And at that time, did you know that you could sing and you could put bars together? You just weren't worried about doing it for yourself, or? I
always wanted to make music, but I wanted to be a good parent, and I had small kids.
Fair.
And at that time, you couldn't do both.
Right.
It was either one or the other. And since I was home with my kids, I could learn how to use, you know, a computer program, and I could, you know, be up all night and, you know, mix and learn how to. I have a light education. In technical music and training.
Okay.
Because I went to Berkeley.
Oh, nice.
So I studied and trained there. And because I have that light training, it helped me basically learn these programs.
Oh, yeah. So what programs would you say you're savvy in?
I love Logic Pro 10.
Logic is awesome. It's user-friendly.
It's just familiar.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's easy to work with.
And
if you are somebody that does not like a lot of hassle, go with Logic Pro 10.
Yeah. Don't
do Pro Tools. You're going to be upset with yourself. Don't do Fruity Loops. You're going to be even more mad at yourself. Just do Logic Pro 10.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of it's user-friendly and it's also in the zeitgeist of the industry standard. It's basically Pro Tools. You know, you go to the studio and they're recording you, engineering you in Logic. You're not mad at me as if you're going to a Fruity Loops or Garage Band.
Listen, 4 years ago, I went to a studio that was still using Cubase. Now, let me tell you how old
Cubase is still around
I am.
Years ago?
Let me just date and age myself with Cubase. Okay, so as long as you know the program that you're working with, you can make anything sound spectacular.
100%. I know some people that were...
I could use GarageBand and still do the same thing, which is Logic Pro 10 is what I graduated from teaching myself on GarageBand. So they said, you want something more professional? Upgrade to that.
100%. And like you were saying, it's more the engineer than the program a lot of times.
Yep.
So you're recording yourself and you're recording other artists as well?
Back in the day.
Back then?
Yes,
okay.
I was just recording other artists. I wasn't really big on being in the spotlight. I did more of the photography and the videography. I had a license in photography back then.
Okay.
The reason that I left to go down south was because I could take care of my family and basically do what I wanted to be doing in music and make a living.
Okay. So you said you left to go down south. I mean, you started up here?
I did. I was in Fall River.
Then went down to Florida?
My SoundCloud still says Fall River.
Hey. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's where you're from, you know? So you started in Fall River, moved down to Florida. Where?
No, Florida.
Where was it? Why does
I
think
moved
it was
down
Florida?
to Mobile, Alabama.
Oh shit! In the country.
Did not know what the fuck I was getting myself into. Trust and believe.
What's the music scene like locally out there? Yeah.
It's lit. If you like Southern music, you're gonna love it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And the great thing about the Southern studios is that like the big time artists from down there, they love a good hood studio.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if you're in a nice hood studio, you're gonna run into celebrities, and I used to all the time. It was so much fun.
All right, let's play the name drop game.
No,
we're not gonna do that.
I feel like that's tacky. You know what I mean? I'll tell you in private. That's a private thing.
I teed it up though. That's fine. But you know that's fair enough. We'll talk about. We have a few things to speak on later, I guess.
Facts.
Off air, off the record
Facts.
type shit. And that's fine though. Let's talk a little bit about this weekend. We got the birthday tomorrow.
Yep.
And then the next day, we're dropping the project.
Yep. And the pre-release is actually dropping tomorrow for everybody who purchased a pre-release.
Okay.
They are getting 2 additional tracks.
One more hit
in addition to the 10 that'll be released on Saturday. They're also receiving a T-shirt, and I have my own line of glassware items for my weed items. So like glass trays and jars and ashtrays and stuff. It's called Chronic.
Okay.
I've been posting it to my social media if you've seen it. Hit me up if you want anything.
Tell me about
you.
Chronic. We're going to get back into the album and all that. I want to go deep dive into that. But I didn't know you were doing that as well.
Well, I feel like this. When you're an artist, you cannot just depend on music for
100%.
income.
Especially for income.
Facts. So the best thing for you to do is to incorporate the things that you are already dealing with on your day-to-day life. If I'm going to invest in anything, it's going to be in the weed industry because I smoke weed.
Every day, 100%.
Every day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what we're going to do. Like, I have my logos. If you go to my my YouTube, I got my logo up there. And, you can clearly see I am all in support of weed usage.
Hell yeah.
Great for anxiety.
Yeah.
Smoke that weed.
So how do we get Chronic
Save lives.
accessories? Is that what you would call them?
Just hit me up.
Just hit you up?
Any
All right.
of them.
Okay.
You
okay.
got, and everything's glass.
Everything is
glass.
that's dope because most trays are like this, either
metal
or the plastic joints with the lights in them, which are cool too. But I haven't seen a glass weed tray yet, really floating around at all. So that's pretty dope. Hit up V Marie for the Chronic glassware, and you got merch. You got T-shirts and stuff like
Just
that.
T-shirts and tank tops right now.
Okay.
I'm not divulging into a whole clothing line. I'm not a clothing designer. I just have merchandise for my music brand. That's it.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so let's get back into the album then. I definitely need to hit you up for some glassware, and I'll hit you with the promo on.
Definitely, I gotta get better at this. I should have definitely brought some. My bad.
It's all good. No problem at all. But let's talk about the album. It's personal. How many songs we expect?
There's 10 on the actual release.
And then the pre-release
they get 2
more.
Additional. They're only getting them digitally. And they'll also get them on a hard copy CD, which is going to be signed.
Okay, that's dope too. Tell me about these 2 bonus songs. What are people getting when they do pay for this?
What's funny is a couple of weeks ago we were making jokes about how for years nobody knew that I rapped. And now it's like nobody knows that I sing.
Really?
So these 2 songs are really feel-good music. I think if you've watched any of my interviews before, you know that I really love a good love song.
Yes,
you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's a fast-paced love song or if it's, a ballad or whatever. I just really love music and feel-good music. How many times have you been in your feelings and you're just running those songs?
Music Soul Child is my hero.
I mean? So,
yeah, most definitely.
And I want to make the kind of music that people can relate to, and that when they are having a few too many drinks and dealing with a breakup or dealing with any of the things they're dealing with, they can put that music on and they can relate to it.
Okay. And what's your go-to in your feelings? Maybe a couple glasses of wine song.
Ew, no wine.
Oh, my bad. I pegged you for a wine person. That's
Juice for adults. When I'm taking Hennessy shots, I probably just like my good 2000s R&B, Neo, Aaliyah, Janet, old school.
Oh, that's more that's early 2000s.
Yes. Well, see, I stopped listening to the radio after when was it? I want to say early mid 2000s. I just stopped being interested in the radio.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
I was distracted with my kids. There was so much going on, and I wanted to be making music, but I couldn't really enjoy what was being played on the radio. I felt like I hated everything.
Right. It was all starting to sound the same and clash together.
And I love when T-Pain came out and he was like, do something different.
Yeah, he
do
sure
something
did.
different. Because I feel like I've been screaming that for years. Like, don't be afraid if it's weird.
He invented a whole new lane that is kind of the hip-hop industry right now. There's few songs that come out that are not heavy into the auto-tune. And that's kind of his, the auto-tune's his baby. And the crazy thing is, he's an amazing singer. He doesn't need it. But he saw I can do something different with this, and I appreciate that.
What I like about it is it's more of not so much that he needed help with his vocals. He was looking for a different type of sound.
Exactly.
The problem with most people is that they don't understand that auto-tune is not to it's not
It's not for bad
he
singers.
wasn't using it to make himself sound better. He was using it to make himself sound different.
He was using
that
it as an
robotic, futuristic sound.
Exactly.
And people have just taken it and said, "Look, we can put any shitty singer on the microphone and make their vocals, sound better."
And with the right engineer, they're not far off.
Mean, I'm not, and I'm not mad at it because if
Right.
you're. But my thing is, if you're not even writing your own music and you can't sing,
Right.
and somebody's writing your raps,
Yeah.
you're cute.
Right.
Is that where we are?
I mean,
is that it? Is
that's
that all you're bringing to the table?
That's just
Like,
what a pop
as an
star
artist,
is.
That's just what I mean, that's what I want to know. If that's what I'm dealing with, if that's what I'm in competition with,
Right.
then how worth it is it as an artist to keep sinking your money and your time into a career when people are just manufacturing the product anyway?
Exactly.
I practice every fucking day.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is there's a big difference between true songwriters and artists like that, and then there are people that just have the natural talent to hit notes and maybe can't write, you know what I mean? So then that's where the songwriters come in, but like I said, rap is it's almost sacred to the point that is if these days, especially if you have a ghostwriter, it's like I mean, people are keeping that on the low. Like, and there's a lot of people in the industry with ghostwriters that you don't know have them.
Well, the problem is that we commercialized rap.
It's
Once
pop now.
we commercialized rap and we made it a commodity to be sold,
Yeah,
it became a business. So they hired the best writers that they could hire. They said, these are the best performers that we can find, and they coupled them together. See, there was never any beef about singers having writers.
Right. That's run of the mill.
Huge name writers that you don't hear anymore. Diane Warren, who wrote for hits for Monica. You know what I mean? Monica, I find a lot of young artists think that every artist writes for themselves. And when I hear them say that, it makes my mouth go to the floor, because if you knew how many of these artists have never written a lyric in their lives, because that's not what the business is.
No, it's who can I sell?
Right.
Who has maybe
and
personality?
what are you willing to do in order to get there?
That's true too. And maybe who's gonna take a true artist that has integrity? They won't take a small little $200,000 deal for 3 albums or whatever. Whereas a dude down the street that just happens to sound good on a microphone but can't rap necessarily, has someone write him songs. Yeah, I'll take a paycheck to do something like that.
Listen, the best thing you can do is, if you're a good writer, get into bed with other artists that are not that great writers.
Sleep around.
No, I don't mean literally get in
my
bed.
bad.
We don't promote that here. I mean, not here. But no, writers, if you can write for multiple genres of music, you're going to be able to make more money.
Exactly.
You're going to open your demographic. You're going to be able to hit markets that are basically making more money than hip hop and rap. Okay?
Absolutely.
Because I'm sorry, but everybody, I feel like every time I go to an event, everybody's broke. Everybody is just barely making it. 100%. And I feel it. Inflation, food is higher, gas is higher, everything costs more money. It costs more money now than ever to be an artist.
Absolutely.
So I get it. But, you got people in the game that think that the only people that should be making music are people that have money. But you know what I mean? Like, how much of your time can you split that focus and really be a good artist?
Absolutely. I know too many great artists that are way too broke, that should be making money off their music, on shows, album sales, merch, or everything in between. And it's just not as easily said than done, unfortunately. Selling music is hard. And that's why, well, instead of me stating it as my opinion, let me ask your opinion on this. Do you think it's more important today than it maybe has ever been to not just be a rapper or just a singer and be able to graphic design or be a DJ or sell merch or something, you know what I mean? I think back in the day, in my opinion, you could just be an artist and make plenty of money and kind of just focus on that. Whereas these days, you can't just be an artist. Is that what you think?
Well, that's because the business was set up different back then. Before the internet, you couldn't put yourself out as an artist.
Right.
You had to go through a record label. You
Couldn't
had to get
monetize
signed.
everything else.
No, I mean, you could if you had funding, but it costs so much money to go through a distribution company,
Yep.
and you know what I mean. To understand what it took to put artists out before the internet, a lot of people don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, we're dealing with a lot of young kids that are making music off apps on their phone. They have
Exactly.
no idea that it used to take, multiple studio appointments, and we didn't have the track line abilities that we have now, where it's unlimited.
Yeah.
You had like 16 and that was it. Get it done.
Yeah, if you wanted trumpets in your song, you need a trumpet player in the
Right, you know
studio,
what I mean?
not a keyboard
Just
that has that sound.
They just have no idea how difficult it was.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that anybody can hit big now,
Yeah.
it should put every artist on their professional shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're in competition with everybody.
Everybody.
And
with
you can sit there and you can post to Facebook all you want to, and you can say you're not in competition and you're not bothered and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, we're artists.
Yeah.
And we're putting out a product.
Mhm.
And you are going to be compared to people whether you like it or not. I hate it, but they do it.
Absolutely.
And you're just going to have to deal with it. If
Mhm.
you don't like what you're putting out, nobody else will.
Hell yeah.
So at the very least, like the shit that you're putting out.
Exactly. That's a great way to put that. You can't. It's never guaranteed that you're gonna monetize your art. So you might as well do what you love to do. Put out a product that you enjoy genuinely. And 9 out of 10 times, maybe we'll say 7 out of 10 times these days, because of how things work, people are going to feel you more if you're feeling what you're doing, rather than
That's right.
maybe someone else writing you a song and you singing a great song maybe.
Right.
It could be a fucking absolute hit, but you just give it to an artist that's not their passion, but that's their talent.
Yeah.
It'll show 100%.
Well, that's what you're going to get on this record. You're going to get a lot of vocals that I think people have been missing, from me. I've been doing a lot of rapping.
Right.
I've been trying to get that skill out there and heard and picked up so that people are aware. And now that that's happened, I think that, dealing with who I was dealing with in the past as far as labels, they weren't wrong in saying we needed more, more singing, more vocal stuff. That R&B shit is great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I just don't want to be boxed into doing shit that is not what I'm about. You know what I mean? If we're going to talk about sex, I want to talk about it on my terms.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Let's talk about that then.
Look, I'm a big fan of the when I'm in the club and I'm having a few drinks, of the Cardi B and the Megan Thee Stallion type tracks.
Lil WAP,
I don't mind
Tyga.
them talking about all that, but I'll be honest with you, they're not on my playlist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't listen to them when I'm in my house. You know what I mean? That's not the kind of music that I would let my children
Of
listen
course,
to.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I respect them for doing whatever the fuck they want and putting whatever the fucking kind of music out that they want to. I respect that. That's just not what I want to be putting out there.
Right.
And so when I do those topics, you know what I mean? I like to think that because I'm a writer and, I'm a poet, that these are, it's coming out in a way that is more artistic and poetic than it is, just in your face, busted open for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as you're like you said, making it more poetic. You could be talking about maybe almost the same song as WAP, but you're not calling a wet ass pussy.
I'm sure we can come up with something else.
I'm sure there's a better way to put it than
something classier. You know
but
what
at
I mean?
but at the same time,
I still love you.
At the end of the day, it was a hit.
Right. No doubt. And
It
like
has
I said,
its place in the
I was
the
never,
scene, but
see, my thing was I was never upset about the success of that song.
right.
I was upset that they used it on certain platforms that I felt like they shouldn't have.
Like the
I don't think it
TikToks with
should've-
the 13-year-olds.
Well, you can't control that. You can't control nobody else's kids.
That's fair.
But I don't think they should have ever been able to perform at, what was it, the Grammys?
Oh.
And that was
MTV Awards, maybe
something like
one of
that.
those,
well,
definitely
MTV
BT.
Awards, I could have seen even an excerpt of that being
Yeah.
appropriate, but I feel like the Grammys is a place where
That's on Channel fucking 5. Like it's not on MTV or BT.
I would want to hear the explanation as to it has to be more than it was a #1 track at the time.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I had the opportunity to perform at the Grammys, I'm gonna want to really pull a Beyonce, you know what I mean? Like a Dangerously in Love, a ballad, something really show off those skills. That's a huge platform.
Absolutely.
You know? So.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's more of a PG-13 platform than the BTs.
Tuxedos and ball gowns,
Exactly.
and you know what I mean. And she's up there with her wet ass pussy. So I mean, it is what it is. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. So what can we expect from the 10 tracks on It's Personal, by the way, dropping Saturday officially? If you didn't get your pre-orders, fuck you. You don't get the 2 extra songs. But those 10 songs that they can purchase starting Saturday, tell me about those. What's the vibe? Is there a structure to those 10? Is there a
There's no specific structure. It's the album is really a light your weed and smoke it kind of album.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, I'm contrary to popular belief, I'm a pretty laid back person. I smoke a lot of weed, so I tend to not be too crazy. I have my crazy moments.
As we do.
But I tend to be pretty laid back, and I like I said before, I really like feel good music. You know what I mean? And there's a time and a place for everything, and I feel like what the biggest thing coming out of this album is the last few years with COVID. The one thing I'll tell you is I've been watching a lot of comedy specials, and in all of these comedy specials, they're all talking about the 2 years that they spent in COVID. So
of course, it hit them as hard as anyone else.
So that being said, every artist that I know should have one of the best projects of their lives because they had time to sit home and really hone in on making something great. And that's what I feel like I did. I really, really feel like this is one of the best bodies of work that I have put together.
Okay. And it's something to just light up front, smoke it,
Yeah.
chill out to.
Yeah.
I like that. But no, what you said before that is, I never thought of it like that, but that's absolutely correct. We had, as artists, you guys, a lot of people that watch the show are artists, had a year and a half of literally you weren't allowed to do shit. So you should at least, if you don't have a home studio, you should at least have been penning some of the best work of your life in that time. And I feel like I did as well, if we were going to be honest.
Well, remember, you don't use everything that you write.
Absolutely.
I throw away so much shit. You know what I mean? But it's just the process. That's the rehearsal part. That's when you're practicing, you have to practice writing. You have to practice all these skills.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you can't think that, you know what I mean, you're a Jay-Z and can just bust in the studio and drop a hot verse and hope that everybody's going to love you.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you don't take yourself seriously, nobody else is going to take you seriously. I'm sorry. I guess I can't with that.
That's 100%. How is anyone going to take you serious if you don't yourself? And there are a lot of people out here that are doing this for fun, which I think is fine, but also don't be getting on these big events like maybe a big headliner comes out or whatever. You know, if this is a hobby, don't hop on that event, even if you have the $500-600 to pay for it. You know.
Well, understand what that $500 or $600 is buying you.
Right.
You have to understand what you're buying it for. Slot fees are gonna be a thing. They're always a thing, and the bigger time
this
you
is
get,
a business.
right? The bigger time you get, the bigger the headliner, the more you're gonna pay. You have to determine if that's a good investment for you and your brand.
Exactly.
Now, if you're not doing that kind of music, why are you gonna? If you're not doing rap music, why are you gonna open for the baby if you're doing rock music? Make it make sense.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Don't spend the money, but you also have to watch out for the janky promoters that will take anybody's money to put anybody on a ticket. You know what I mean? Watch what stages you're on with people. Because at the end of the day, like I said, this is a business. So you're going to have artists that are just not as good as you are at what you do. You know what I mean? And look, my biggest thing is I can't dance, okay? I only dance when I drink, and, you know, it's all right, but I can't dance. So I'm really worried about like a stage show and my stage presence. You know, I'm a rapper, but I'm also a singer. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different elements that go in there. When you're dealing with the smaller nightclub events, you know, the little hole in the wall spots,
Right.
which I love them. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? There's nothing wrong with doing smaller event spaces. It's a more intimate opportunity to be
Facts.
close to people and really get them to start following you.
Uh-huh.
I get a lot of Instagram followers when I do those shows.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
but doing that beat, it opens you up for when you're ready to do those bigger stages. So
Facts.
when you're ready for when Megan Thee Stallion comes and she's, you know, got openings and they're charging $900, does that $900 make sense for you? What are you getting out of it outside of just opening for Megan Thee Stallion? Because
Exactly.
I promise you, there's going to be a photo shoot involved. There's going to be, you know, food is going to be involved. Everybody that is going to be involved is going to have to submit a rider. If you don't know what a rider is, you're not in the
You're
business.
not in the industry,
You're not in
yeah.
the industry. You know what I mean? These are all things
Green
that are
M&Ms
going-
only.
Right. They be like that too. They be like that. But yeah, if you don't know what that is, then you're not doing your homework. This is a business. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to charge for services that they're not qualified for.
Yes.
And that's fine. But if you're an amateur, build up your business.
Yeah.
You start at a very low rate, and then every 6 months you raise that rate. With experience, you can raise your rates. But without experience, fuck you. I'm not paying you $400 to shoot a video when your editing looks like you did it off YouTube.
And you might have, yeah.
I'm just not going to do that.
No, you're right, because there are a lot of people out here that just start and they go, oh, I know how to do this now, therefore I can charge the industry standard, which just isn't the case.
You don't even have the industry programming. How can you charge the industry standard?
Exactly. 100%.
Apps don't count.
Yeah, if you did it on your phone, then you can't be charged hundreds of dollars for it. How you feeling over there?
Your video starting at 500 over here.
But he's been doing it for years. Man, that's
Oh boy
awesome.
said 500. We
Hell
start
yeah.
videos at 500.
Yeah,
Mhm.
got
That's for
drones
basic-
and all that. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Guys, pay.
Let's line up Let's Roll by V. Marie right here.
Let's roll.
The video is out right now. It's been out for like, what, 2 months now? 3 months?
I released it at the end of May.
Yeah, 3 months then.
Yeah.
All right, word. And that had that Dexter vibe to it. What made you think of this concept for the video?
I mean, as a writer, I grew up in the library reading books, then with the internet, you know what I mean? You get into all these shows and all these streaming shows, and you know, they've adapted so many stories to television shows and movies. So I love Dexter.
Hell yeah.
I love the theme. I'm just upset. I'm going on record right now that we lost our table because I feel like my table, not putting him on the table is how it kind of loses that Dexter feel.
I
But
feel
what
you.
happened
Had him
was,
in the chair though, right?
Yeah,
With the mask.
we saran wrapped
plastic
into a
and shit, yeah.
chair. But still, you know what I mean? Like if it was a table, people would have been like,
Oh,
"Oh, shit,
Dexter.
that's
Yeah,
Dexter."
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean, I feel
That's
like they
fair.
got to work really hard to figure it out.
All right, that's fair. But I mean, I got the vibe. And I liked it, even though it was the concept is essentially a bunch of pretty girls got a bunch of dumbass men to come to a party so they can all be tortured and killed.
Absolutely not the premise of
Are you
the video
sure?
at all.
Because that's what it looked like to me.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Then you tell me what your video is about, because I
Okay,
think
so
I know better than you do.
Basically, I am Vexter.
Right.
Okay, I was Veana or V,
Uh-huh.
and basically, Imphy, you know Imphy, she's in the
Course,
video.
yeah.
She is my nemesis in the video. If you notice, she's talking to my boyfriend. She's stealing money from the till. She's talking to my best friend, talking shit, trying to start all this stuff. Throughout the whole video, she's starting shit. So me and my best friend kidnap her boyfriend and torture him.
So my dumb ass saw it the other way. I saw it as she was your partner stealing from him, and you guys were like, we got you, and fucking started cutting him up and all that shit.
Nope.
Either way, you tell me what you think of the video. Go check that out when you're done with this episode of Happy Hour with the Drunk DJ. to hold you over. Until then, we got the song right now. My boy Uzi got lined up. Happy hour with the drunk DJ. We got Veana Marie in the building. We'll be right back with some left field questions. Let's roll.
Come for me, stay at the top of my game, can't fuck with me. You know, when it comes to the game, we don't move the same. I'm who you wanna be. I go hard each and every day, never miss a beat. Not I mean, you gone. Regret the day you ever stepped to me, better respect the queen. Oh no, it's me back up in this bitch again. Thought you was coming, but you been hiding behind all them friends. Little bitches wanna play with me, little bitches wanna play for free. Wanna pass, then get played for free. I'ma pass cause they already know that I'm good when I say I be. Now bitch, if ever know, wanna play with me. Oh, it's not in your face with the fakery. You wanna talk about the last, but don't play with me. I'm real like the shit you tryna say to me. You try to stay with me. I'ma call like I see it, then believe it, cause you're not who y'all claim to be. Recouping all my investments, I don't play for free. Said I was weak and I was stressed, but wanna lay with V. Please. No. How you gon' come for me? Stay at the top of my game, can't fuck with me. You know, when it comes to the game, we don't move the same. I'm who you wanna be. I go hard each and every day, never miss a beat. Not I mean, you gone. Regret the day you ever stepped to me, better respect the queen. No. How you gon' come for me? Stay at the top of my game, can't fuck with me. You know, when it comes to the game, we don't move the same. I'm who you wanna be. I go hard each and every day, never miss a beat. Not I mean, you gone. Regret the day you ever stepped to me, better respect the queen. Motherfuckers when they run their mouth, got a lot to say when I'm not around. Soon as I pop out, they all hush hush like the cricket sound. They demean it so blatant, can tell that they hating. Wanna see me fall with too bad, I be waiting. I come from a place you have yet to see. Fuck around and turn boss when they flex on me. I don't wish no bad on my enemies, but cross the line and it's 113. Slicing heads like a horror scene, murking them Jason. Each time I go hard, it's to offset the hate. Who slimy, they slither, ain't no hands to shake. Fuck your applause, your respect, I'ma take. I'm far from a rookie, they trolling, they looking, feeling froggy. No, I'm a killer, don't push me. How you gon' come for me? Stay at the top of my game, can't fuck with me. You know, when it comes to the game, we don't move the same. I'm who you wanna be. I go hard each and every day, never miss a beat. Not I mean, you gone. Regret the day you ever stepped to me, better respect the queen.
Everyone's a boss. Everyone's in charge. Everyone got stacks upon stacks of them green and golden balls. Placed neatly in the back of their closet, stacked up they fucking walls. Be around the prettiest bitches you seen and you'd ever call. Yeah, can't pay for features or models, can't even pay for cars. Wanna talk about running the city, but can't even run the malls. Paying with these checks with their mouths, they asses steady taking falls. Kept fucking and ducking till V connected in they balls. Now niggas crying and whining, got me here taking pause. Make me get a non-disclosure for interacting with every clause. I'm a number one all-star with these niggas, I stay playing dodge. My moves stay like years ahead, your moves have been recalled. Try to be a better me, all niggas begging for an applause. Thinking I'm weak and forgetting I'm holding all these cards. With these receipts and not one of your bitches half as hard. No capping needed, the truth's revealed here in all this sauce.
Oh no, how you gon' come for me? Stay at the top of my game, can't fuck with me. You know, when it comes to the game, we don't move the same. I'm who you wanna be. I go hard each and every day, never miss a beat. Not I mean, you gone. Regret the day you ever stepped to me, better respect the queen. Oh no, how you gon' come for me? Stay at the top of my game, can't fuck with me. You know, when it comes to the game, we don't move the same. I'm who you wanna be. I go hard each and every day, never miss a beat. Not I mean, you gone. Regret the day you ever stepped to me, better respect the queen.
Cause I'm out here trying to make some moves, but it ain't like that. Just know that I'll be right back. I'll give you all my time just to let you know you're mine. It ain't nothing, promise I'ma do it all to give you something. This love I got is only for you. You're my comfort, my future husband. I'ma give you all my heart, yeah, all of it, yeah. Baby, I know that I gotta come fix it. You're the only nigga that I be missing. Swear I'm coming home to give you the business. Turn off my phone, it can leave me a miss. it from head to toe. My affection that I'm left with, gotta let him know. It's you and I, you and I. Don't wanna waste your time, cause I'ma make it right. You have a place inside, that's why I made you mine. Gonna take my time, relax your mind, cause I'm all yours tonight. Tell me what you want, boy, it's free. I want nobody else, it's only you and me. Get rid of all this tension we don't need. I give you my affection, my everything. I'm giving you my everything.
I ain't never been betrayed by an enemy. That shit is only a book from them saying friend to me. They so
you down. Love seems scary these days with all these niggas going crazy. You the only one I want.
thought you was coming, but you been hiding.
How many times all them friends? How much more praise can I say that I love you now? Little things you do,
Never talk about
sunshine through
my
and I
kids
love
or
you
pull
till we
up to it right lit. If you ever just keep it tight lit,
you the only nigga that I be missing. Swear I'm coming home to give you the business. Turn off my phone and can leave me a message. I'ma just cover your body with kisses, kisses. Rub your body down, you know that I miss it. Miss it. It's not like I don't love you anymore. I feel so smooth. It's deeper. I just really hate to let you down. Love seems scary these days with all these niggas going crazy. You're the only one I want around. How many times, how many ways can I say that I love you now? Hear the little things you do, let your true soul shine through, and I'll love you till we in the ground. Hey.
Check, check. What up, world? Your boy, the kid, a.k.a. The Drunk DJ, a.k.a. Bully Joe. Welcome back to Happy Hour with The Drunk DJ, featuring Veana Marie in the motherfucking building.
What's good?
I had to do my my ring announcer voice, cause real quick, excuse the shameless promo. Tomorrow night, I'm be I think we're in Ashland for Focus Pro Wrestling. I'm gonna be the DJ and the ring announcer. That's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I've never done a wrestling event, a local one at least. I've gone to like WWE joints, but I've never been to a local pro wrestling event. So I'm excited not only to be there, but to DJ and be the idiot yelling the wrestlers' ridiculous names. It's gonna be so much fun. Shout out to my sponsors real quick. Let's run down the list. We got Undeniable Sound. That's where we're at right now. Focus to Win Media. You got me. We got ASTRADA NAIRE. We got RSTAR GETUP. Van Allen. And that's Graphic by the Kid. My producer back there, Uzi, he's sign languaging me the answers to this. We're cheating on this test.
I was just gonna say them, bro.
I appreciate
earlier
you.
you try to sign language me, and I'm like, does he know he's on?
You're
camera?
right. You're right. Yeah. It doesn't. The sign language doesn't work
Just
here
say
because
it out loud.
Yeah, I may as well have said it more. You're right. We just saw a promo for Prova.
Prova.
Is it Italian?
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Cape Verdean?
It's a me,
Cape
a
Verdean.
Portuguese.
No, it's Cape Verdean.
I was close. Same thing.
He just gets going and he doesn't stop.
But that's coming up literally a week from tonight. Tell me about that before we get into left field questions.
Prova Beer Gardens is similar to Boston's Lawn on the D.
Yep.
It's Thursday and Friday nights, 4 to 9. Usually different talent down there. They have everything: bluegrass, country, hip hop, R&B. They had, unfortunately, it was a lightning storm last Friday. Her name Amaya.
Ooh.
Amaya was supposed to be there. She's an AMG Sony artist.
Uh-huh.
And I was was really upset because I did kind of want to see her.
Right.
But it's a good place for artists to get paid to do what they do.
Hell yeah.
You know, there's an application process. You have to make sure that you have family-friendly music and, you know, make sure that, like I was saying before, when you are able to write for multiple genres of music, you're opening your ability to make money up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't take advantage of these opportunities because all they talk about is, you know, guns, drugs, and sex. And,
Exactly.
you know, you can't do that when there's kids.
Yeah, the all-age event. Yeah.
I mean, you can, but
right.
You know,
You're probably
not
not gonna get rehired.
Facts. So that's Prov is great. It 4 years running. We've been doing it now since they started it.
Okay. And where's that exactly? Is that Brockton?
That's in Brockton.
Okay. Hell yeah. Make sure you check that out. A week from tonight, you're there performing.
Yes, we'll be there from 4 to 9. We do a stage show there. So Keith is a DJ as well.
Yeah.
So Sinister One will be there in the
Big
building.
shout out, Sinister One.
Big shout out, Sinister One.
Podcast every Tuesday. My man, make sure you check that out.
Check out the booth.
At the
Tuesdays
booth.
at 7.
Absolutely. I was a guest on there once, and I appreciate you for that. I'm going to book you as a guest for here sometime soon. I tried to get you in here today. You said, nah, it's V's day. And I get that. Today's V day. Tomorrow's B day. Next day is...
Hey, at least I'm not one of these annoying-ass Leos that, you know, it's their birthday all damn month, okay?
Just for the last 2 weeks. That's it. I promise. And one more after this. 3 weeks total. And...
I wish I was like that. I so wish I was like that.
But all right. Let's get into the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
The left field questions. We asked you about the album, and we're going to talk about the album one more time before we get out of here, just to get that back fresh in people's minds in the event coming up on Saturday. Is that an open event, or is that like a invite only?
It is not an open
so
event.
we'll talk about it, but we're not giving no addresses, nothing like that.
No.
But
nope.
Let's talk left field questions. And I don't know if you remember left field questions from the Fully Focused podcast days, but I stole that from myself. And I put it right here on Drunk DJ, Happy Hour with the Drunk DJ. And these are the questions that are less about your music career and what you've got going on, like we've talked about already, and more left field. Let's start with a simple one. If you were to put out a liquor or a beer or a wine, what would it be and what would you call it?
You really don't know me. Like, at all.
I mean, I'm asking.
He doesn't know me at all.
What's it called?
You know that they call me the Henny Queen, right?
No, right. So you're going to make a cognac.
It would be a cognac of some kind.
And what are we calling that cognac?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. Probably, you know, I'll say like this.
Mm-hmm.
Stay on brand.
Mm-hmm.
Name everything after your number one brand. I have
right.
so many things with Veana Marie on it. When
Yeah.
you Google Veana Marie, I'm the first 4 pages.
Right.
Just me on any browser. So you can check that. Branding, if you keep, and that's been, 10 years?
Right.
10 years of people Googling me.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be on brand. Veana Marie will be probably
Just
what I use as a brand for the
Veana
rest of my life.
Marie cognac.
Anything, yeah.
I'm not mad at that. So that checks like 6 of my questions out the window because I know what the answer is going to be to them already. That's fine, though. So I got plenty more. This is one that I've been spitballing lately. You're going to be the first person I've asked this.
Okay.
And it's going to be, except for this guy, technically I told him about the question. I've been trying to figure out how to word it. That's why I haven't asked anyone yet. But essentially the question is this, and I'll give you an example so you understand. If there was a number that correlated with the age and the amount of people at the same time that you could beat up, what would that be? So, example-wise, 1 1-year-old, 2 2-year-olds, 3 3-year-olds, 4 4-year-olds. How many people can you think you could take in a fight that correlate to that age? 14-year-old.
Like any age?
Yeah, and that's the thing too is oh man, I didn't think of that. All right, get any age, yes.
Okay, so is this in reference response to like just what I think or
Well,
life
no,
experience?
100%. This is all opinion based. This is in your brain.
Because I have
Could
a
you
life
beat up?
experience one.
Yeah, exactly. Could you beat up 10-year-old girls? Do you think you can beat up
How about
15-year-old
How
girls?
about I was not afraid to
at
take
once?
my metal bat down to my kid's bus stop after a boy hit my daughter and took on a whole bus full of high school students.
All right, but
They
okay,
were like
so
between 15 and
so
17.
maybe 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
You can. All right, and I didn't factor weapons into the. See, you're a good. That's a good point. I didn't factor weapons in, but I also didn't factor weapons out. I just did a fight, and to you, a fight might mean I have a fucking
Listen,
bat
I'm
in my
five-
hand.
I'm 5'2". I'm 150 pounds.
That's
I'm not
perfectly
going
fair.
up against a whole group full of kids without being armed.
That's fair. I like that. I like that a lot. Being the first time ever asking this question, that brought another element to it. So yeah, with the bat in hand, you maybe 17-year-olds you got. I like that. My number, and I did this without weapons. I did this as me fighting this amount of that age, as just average. As average as I am, which is average as fuck. And I figure I can beat up 13-year-olds. Once you get to 14-year-olds, they start to get a little muscle mass to them. I'm 5'6", so they're gonna be my height or taller probably. 13-year-olds, I'll beat them. They don't want none. 12-year-olds want it even fucking less. Those 14-year-olds though, they. I think they might got me at that.
I think they might. That puberty, they just start to shoot up. All of a sudden, you got the Hulk living in your house.
Hell yeah. All right. Some more left field questions. How about this? If your last ex wrote a song about you, what would that song be called?
That bitch is a dumpster fire. I don't know. You know.
It's catchy at least. That's a catchy title. At the very least.
It's funny because some people are in correspondence with their exes, so you have to be on good terms, baby daddies, and all that other shit.
That's why I think the question works, because I get both ends of the spectrum when I ask it. Some people are like, oh, that's my best friend still, and the answer is fucking flowers and dandelions.
Your ex is your best friend? Then why is it your ex? Get the fuck out of here. I can't stand people who do that.
Hey,
no, we're not doing that. Your exes are your exes. Unless you share children, there's no need.
I mean, that's
no,
a situation
no,
I get.
You'd still be together.
Fair enough.
Go back to your ex if that's the case.
If they're an ex, then it's definitely going to be a negative title. That's fair. All right. All right. You gotta lose one. You're losing a foot or a hand.
Oh.
Yeah, you're amputated for whatever
Hand.
reason. You're losing a hand.
And I need
Feet
to
are
be
more
able to
important
run
you?
from the zombies, goddamn.
Oh, shit, the zombies. Oh, that just opened up a whole other door of left field questions. Zombies, you say. So, what is your go-to weapon if the zombie apocalypse happens?
Machete.
Machete.
Cannot go wrong with a machete.
I assume you have a bunker already. What is it filled with?
I stay stocked up on the water and canned food, sir.
All right, like some tuna.
All that.
Some beans.
All that.
Green beans.
Yes, all that. Yes. If
Chicken
it's
of the
canned
sea.
and it can be preserved, I got it.
All right.
We
all
keep
right.
that.
Where are you going in the event of the zombie apocalypse?
Nowhere.
You're sticking
Dummies, don't go anywhere.
You don't think there's somewhere safer than where you're at right now?
First of all, board up your shit and wait for all the crazies to leave. Then go look for supplies. Then you try to figure out a plan if you have to go anywhere. But don't go nowhere, especially if you have kids. So I used to tell my kids all the time, if something happens and you're at school, right, this is what we're going to do. And we used to always talk about it like it was going to be a zombie apocalypse. And I said, listen, you stay there. I'm coming for you. Do not leave that school. I will come for you.
Yep. Hide in the closet, and I'll be there. I'll get you.
Don't listen to them stupid teachers. You stay. You listen to me.
Okay. All right.
Too much Walking Dead in my life.
One more zombie apocalypse question before I move on from that a bit. If was you and one other person left in the world against all of the zombies. So it's not necessarily a romantic, who do I want to be left with in the world, me and that person. More of a, who you surviving with. If it's everyone in the world was gone except for you and that one other person, who's your survival teammate?
Like I gotta name a person.
One person.
Oh, I don't know anybody that I could.
You
that
don't
could
have to
kick
know them
some
personally.
ass.
It could be Bear Grylls, if you want. It could be one of these guys that are doing like.
It would definitely have to be somebody who is very well trained in the martial arts.
All right, so Jackie Chan.
Samurai sword shit. Yes, yes, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Somebody who's good with a long blade, because you want to be able to kill them from a distance, but quietly.
Danny Trejo, a.k.a. Machete.
Oh, there you go. Yes, yeah. There you go.
Facts. All right, I'm not mad at that answer at all.
So y'all would both have machetes.
I don't know what my answer was before I just thought of that, but it's Machete now. It's him. It's absolutely Danny Trejo. All right, we'll get away from zombie apocalypse. I got a few more left field questions for you, and then we're going to play some music, come back with a little bit more promo for this weekend, the release and all that. But, man, I just talked myself out of the question that I had. So I'm going to stall right now while I think of a new one. And that new one is this question that I'm going to ask right now.
It's all the weed. Don't worry, I understand.
Yeah, you're right. How about this? You got to quit one for life. And I'm going to give you 3 options. Okay. Henny, weed, and sex. You got to quit one of those for life.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm going to have to say goodbye to the Henny because I need my liver in order to enjoy weed and sex for the rest of my life.
That's a great way to look at it.
I love my Hennessy, but I'm going to have to say bye-bye.
All right. All right, lightning round. Ready?
Okay.
When it comes to chicken wings, drum or flat?
Both.
Oh, shit. But I've never got a both.
Both.
People are usually very like,
I like them all. I like
this
it
is
all.
my one.
Oh.
Both, I'm not mad at both. I'll allow a both. I usually wouldn't in most questions, but I've never got it for that. People are usually very definitive. All right. Lightning round. So you said both, which blew my mind and threw me off track. Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Bacon or a ham sangy?
Bacon.
Of course. Obviously, that was stupid. My bad. Left or right?
Left.
Up or down?
Up.
In or out?
In.
Oh, you dirty. And one more. Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Breakfast for dinner is the right answer. Sorry, you were wrong.
That is better. He's right.
And one more left field question, my favorite one, before we get into a little bit of music and come back, promote what we got going on, is this. You heard of Marry, Sex, Kill. Marry, Fuck, Kill, MFK. I give you 3 people. Well, I'm not going to do this, but this is the original. In Marry, Fuck, Kill, it's I give you 3 names. You marry one, you fuck one, you kill one. I'm going to do the music version of that, and it is collab, sign, or diss. Okay. All right? So I'm going to give you 3 artists. You're going to collab with one. You're going to sign to one of their labels, or you can sign them to your label, whichever way you choose to interpret that, and you're going to diss one.
Okay.
So I've got Missy Elliott, Cardi B, and my left field version of this is going to be 2 Chainz. You got this one. You got marry one. Now I'm mixing my own shit up. You got this one. You get a sign with one, and you got a collab with one.
Sign with. Well, I'm gonna diss Cardi B.
Diss Cardi. I like that.
I'm gonna.
That's the right answer.
Sign with who was it?
We had 2 Chainz. We had Missy Elliott.
I'm gonna sign with Missy Elliott.
Sign Missy and collab with 2 Chainz.
I'm gonna have to collab with 2 Chainz.
I think that's
have to.
I think that might have been the right answer to that question.
Yes.
That might have absolutely been the right order.
I'm only gonna lightly diss the queen.
Right.
Cardi. So
the reigning queen.
Right, the reigning queen. We're not gonna do that.
But no, I think that's the right way to go. The collab with 2 Chainz right now, or any time that 2 Chainz been a thing, actually is he's always just been his verses on collabs have been better than full tracks sometimes.
I find that's the case for a lot of these people.
That's fair, yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes a lot of work to make your 2 or 3 verses not just catchy and versatile, but relatable. And a lot of people don't have the time span to listen to 3 verses.
Facts. That's why a lot of songs aren't even 3 verses anymore.
Nope.
That being said, let's hear some music. We'll be right back. Talking with V Marie. Happy Hour with the Drunk DJ. I have sponsors and they're on the screen somewhere, I'm sure.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Big knots, big figures, big shots, big time. On the clock with my big watch, non-stop. He wanna cuff this shorty 'cause I'm a big boss, big deal. Hella sex appeal. Pussy crazy on a honey, he got a bad, he want it. Got your guy lost, he wanna lick up all this honey. Got you hoes mad when you see me and you see money. Evil swag, I keep that thing in a Burberry bag. What you mad? Get out your feelings, get your rags. Stack up, my circle small, we finna act up. 32, 25, 39, I'm with it. Been had this fatty baby since I left my mama's belly. Been on this ball shit since I left up out of Cali. Took a break, vacate, now I'm about to get it. Real shit, solid 100 proof, you can feel it. Bad bitch to CEO, I'm that boss, I'm still a baddie. Queen boss, I'm about my paper with the shits if you cut me show. Don't give a damn if that's your man's, fuck your bro code. I'm about these decimals, queen boss, independent, big business, queen boss, queen boss.
Big money boss bitch, yeah, from the projects, niggas know I'm taking off. Yeah, I like to do bean when I'm in a 2-piece, yeah, I like to shake and songs. I'm getting to this money, I ain't worried about a bitch. I ain't gotta rob a nigga, I ain't gotta do a stick, I ain't gotta do fraud, I ain't gotta suck a dick, I ain't gotta beat a bitch, I'm a different type of chick. Whoa. Getting money, bitches by the boatload, they faded on the nigga, only focused on it, big bro. You a boss bitch and your stack tight, you better smack a nigga with some act right. Put the pussy on him, get a gushy on him in the early morning, I bet he act right. You know I'm with it. This for them bossy chicks and they with the shits, I know you feel it. You know we in the game, we in Switzerland and we with it. Bad bitch about big bread. You a bad bitch and you bossy. Get a bad bitch cause you bossy. Queen boss, I'm about my paper with the shits if you cut me short. Don't give a damn if that's your man's, fuck your bro code. I'm about these decimals. Queen boss, independent, big business. Queen boss, queen boss.
Put your 3s in the air if you's a big boss. Peace up, A-town down if you's a big boss. Put your pinkies in the air if you's a big boss. Cause I'm a big time, big boss, queen boss.
Never talk about my kids or pull up to where I live. If you have issues, keep it tight lid, cuz Pittsburgh. You getting started and when I grind it, I can't deny it. Feels so exciting. Deeper
result is no restart.
Result.
we ride.
these wheels roll off. I won't ever give you reason or cause to ever doubt my loyalty, your regard. Your best bet for success, no charge. I keep it tight, just right, shit's nice. Got these niggas on the pro, not twice. They wanna know since they pockets are swollen, they can take me from him and make me they wife. Make me they wife. Shit's funny, I know. How you thinking that a lady like me would ever fuck up a line from 5 years ago? Who that was for? Not me anymore. Nigga, there's a dough. Yeah, nigga, there's a dough. See, we making a plan and we laying a go. We gathered the seeds that we needed to sow. We're on the wrong path, now we on the go. You ain't never seen a drive like this before. Been knocked to the ground, lost, never found crying. You could never understand how my loyalty's climbing. We space down for days, so we're soaring to the sky. And shit you can say about my people, so don't try.
All day, every day, we be doing our thing. When we come through, we gon' say shit, man. Get us set it off like a shotgun bang. 24/7, this is all we do. Running these bars like we dressed in blue. Easy, be together, don't know what you gon' do. All day, every day, we be doing our thing. When we come through, we gon' say shit, man. Get us set it off like a shotgun bang. 24/7, this is all we do. Running these bars like we dressed in blue. Easy, be together, don't know what you gon' do.
What up, world? It's your boy, the kid, a.k.a. the drunk DJ, K. Willie Joe. Welcome back to Have Y'all with the Drunk DJ. My man Uzi in the background.
Why'd your voice just hit that high pitch like that?
Because I was holding back laughs at you. You were trying to call me out, and you couldn't because your joint was muted too.
Yeah, but nobody could see me messing up.
All right, that's why it was funny. Happy you brought it up because I looked ridiculous to them until you explained it. V. Marie in the building. What up?
What's going on?
Oh, snap. You tell me. You got a long-ass weekend ahead of you.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
We're launching, releasing, whatever you want to call it, on Saturday. It's personal.
Yes. Yep.
And if you've already pre-ordered, well, if you got the pre-order, the pre-sale orders, you're getting the joints today?
You're getting it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yep.
2 extra songs, a T-shirt, some glassware.
Yep.
All of that fun shit. If you didn't do that, you're an idiot, and that's on you. But
it was hella cheap too.
Oh, you idiot! I was talking to myself in that one. I didn't know you
cheap.
had all that going on.
Because the album by itself is $15.
Right.
So if you got the album pre-sale, you got all the merchandise.
Plus
that
2
was
songs.
$65 worth of merchandise.
Woo.
So wah,
And if you get it starting Saturday,
yep,
you get 10
You
fire fucking songs.
you'll get the project, the 10 tracks. Yep.
Word. Also the pre-sales got a signed copy.
Yes,
Put
hard
that out there as
copies
well.
for the pre-sales. That was the whole draw for the pre-sales.
That's dope as shit. But it's too late if you haven't done it already. So you haven't. That's fine, I guess. You just missed out on the deal. But starting Saturday and on, you can buy the album, $15 a pop. 10 fire tracks, get you in your feels, something to smoke to. It's called It's Personal, so you're going to feel something, right?
You're going to feel something. You're going to try to be figuring stuff out, too.
Okay.
You know how it is, you know, in the business. Everybody speculates about everything.
Yes, of course.
And, you know, when you go to different events and you deal with different promoters and you deal with different artists, everybody has a million questions and they want to know your business. So I am not the kind of person that talks about my business. I'll just put it into music.
Okay.
So the reason, like I said, he said it seemed like it was personal because it was. You know, it was easy to tap into that side of myself, being that I had no guilt about taking the time to do so. You know what I mean? As artists, when you have to split your focus, you feel guilty. I feel like sometimes I always used to feel guilty about taking the time to practice or taking the time to do this or that because it wasn't, you know, immediately adding to my bottom line. But with COVID hitting, it allowed people to take that time and really guilt-free create stuff. You know what I mean? You had no reason to not be doing that.
Facts. So you might call this a COVID baby.
I mean, I guess.
That's probably not the sexiest
No, because
name
the only
for
reason
it,
why I wouldn't say that is because I've been writing this album since 2018.
Okay, bet.
You know what I mean? So there were 4 songs on this album that were written before the last album dropped. They just didn't make the last album.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is just an accumulation of my life for the last 4 years.
Okay, word. Make sure you check that shit out. All platforms?
I distribute through DistroKid, so it will be available everywhere.
Everywhere, absolutely. Coming out this Saturday if you didn't get the pre-sale already. If you did, everything's coming tomorrow.
And the pre-sale is going to be available privately. I will let everybody know in their inboxes where they can find their digital copy so they can listen to the actual project tomorrow.
Okay.
It'll only be available temporarily.
Okay.
And only
24
to them.
hours type deal?
Only to them. No, it's going to be longer than that.
All right.
But it's going to, just so that I can make sure that everybody gets their stuff. Once they get their album, they'll get the regular, they're going to be able to actually, I'll probably just keep it open for them. It'll always be accessible to them.
That's fair.
It'll be private. It'll probably be on Audio Mac.
Okay. All right. So, that's coming at you guys tomorrow if you got the pre-sales.
Veana.
Saturday, you can buy the official album. $15, 10 fire songs. Make sure you check that out. All platforms. Everywhere that Disco Kid puts that shit out on.
Apple, Spotify, anywhere you can stream your music is where it will be available.
Prova will be there a week from tonight.
Yep, next Thursday.
That's going to be fire. And where can they find you online? How do they find you on
VeanaMarie.com is my
VEANA.
website. You can Google me, like I said. If you Google me, I'm like the first 3 or 4. I'm branding Veana Marie everywhere.
Hell yeah. Word. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here? Any shout-outs, anything like that?
I mean, shout out to everybody that's been supporting. I've been through, a lot of different networks, and I think that the biggest thing about being with people in this industry, especially on a local level, is being able to move around and, deal with people in different towns. And I appreciate all my folks, the people that I deal with in Taunton and Fall River, Boom Squad, and, everybody that has benefited my brand in some way with a collaboration of whatever kind it has been. It's just been amazing. And right now, I'm feeling like we're at, like, the precipice of something really big, so that's just where we're at right now.
And that the big thing might start Saturday for
all
we know.
It might be that thing that starts on Saturday.
Hell yeah. So it's a secret event going on Saturday. If you know, you know. If you don't,
it's not secret. Put out a post. I asked people if they wanted to be invited. It is a private location.
Private, I should say.
Private location. So if you wanted to be invited, you just had to let me know, and I sent you an invite.
Fact.
So if you missed that, hit me up. I'll let you know. Put you on the list.
Word. It's that simple, guys. You can be there this Saturday.
Yep.
You could be
it's
there.
Dope.
Just hit her up.
Venue. Very nice, very different. Not your typical nightclub spot at all.
We're gonna do a listening party type deal?
that's what it is. Yep.
Say less. In there, happy hour with the drunk DJ. Do you have a beer left? Let me get a cheers. I was supposed to do this like an hour ago at the beginning of the show, but a cheers. I appreciate you. Big shout out to my sponsors. I got RSTAR GETUP, ASTRADA NAIRE, Van Allen Clothing, Focus to Win, Undeniable Sound, and That's Graphic by the Kid. Hey, Uzi, you got a joint ready to play?
Yeah.
I think he's awake back
well,
there.
then do that. No, I'm just kidding. Next week, we have a guest. I promise that. I, off the top of my head, can't remember who that person is. So,
whoops.
I promise there'll be a guest next week, and they'll be great. Until then, be safe, stay focused, and bye.
Bye.
One.
ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Now bring it up, that's a standing ovation. Now keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation.
Pick it up, drop that ass in rotation. Pick it up, let me put you boys in the matrix. Ass fat, now he wanna come over, save it, taste it. I'ma serve it on a plate, don't waste it. I'ma put this ass in his face, probation. Keep him on watching, never send location. But he want vacation, he can see it sitting down. Damn, my shit is poking now. I'm what he really talk about. Face pretty, waist small, let the way I roll around. Wanna see it bounce, gotta send an ounce. Gosh, he ain't wanna pin me down. I'm the baddest in town. Let me make that shit bounce, bounce. Yeah, let me make that shit bounce, bounce. Whole place in chaos when that booty go down, down. Yeah, I'ma make it go round, round. When I put it down, make that booty go bounce, bounce.
Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Now bring it up, that's a standing ovation. Now keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation.
Drop it low, put that ass in rotations. Amazing. Had a nigga spending all his savings, impatient. I ain't with the teasing or the waiting. I wanna see it out like how you do it on vacation. She talk a big game, but I ain't doubtful. She got a lot of mouth, well I got a mouthful. And you could come with me if you really want some fun, girl. I'm an ass man, but my name ain't Billy Gunn. It's the OSO, Mr. Make You Feel Special. Buy my cheese and I'm dipped like some cone queso. Dami Beso, full tap like some chrome vessel. Legs wrapped around me and we don't wrestle. Now go ahead, shorty, make it clap. She got that shit that make a nigga come back. Now I'ma show you how to get them bands up. Throwing dirty money, turn it to my dirty dancer.
Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Now bring it up, that's a standing ovation. Now keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. She make it clap, trying to shake them daddy issues out of ass. Throw a rack at her, bet you do something freaky for that. Matter of fact, that's a cap, she gon' cost you more than that. Matter of fact, that's a cap, she gon' cost you more than that. She's a high maintenance, bad bitch with no patience. Thick waisted, still dope with no makeup. Don't waste your time trying to date her. She all about her money like a banker. And I may feel her an offer like Baker too. Show her how to make bread like it's baking school. Give a fuck what they labeled you, baby boo. Get your money or cut them off like the cables do. Send me your location, boo. Chaos, got them cakes, I might take her to. Half an hour we can rendezvous. With your spot, I'ma pull up on you. Skirt. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation. Now bring it up, that's a standing ovation. Now keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Keep it up, that's a standing ovation. Drop it low, put that ass in rotation.
Never talk about my kids or pull up to where I live. If you have issues, keep a tight lid, cause Pittsburgh. You get inside and when I grind it, I can't deny it feels so exciting. Deep
Result is no restart. Result.